passes from this guy.
His record he broke was Vinny Testaverde's. I went through Testaverde's list. You wouldn't think Testaverde threw to 70 different guys, but he did. And some of those names were Brian Kinchin and Leroy Horde and Leon Johnson and Bruce Perkins. But Brady is now the owner of that. And if you went through Brady's list of the 70 guys, a lot of Dedrick Ward, a lot of David Patton. Brady has lasted the test of time, and he's done it all with one team. Truly incredible in today's way with the salary cap and the CBA. An amazing career, all with one team.
41-year-old quarterback Tom Brady gets himself the win under the bright lights. They now have another primetime game. They go to Chicago, and they have 2 primetime games after that. New England, good place to be. All right, there's a fantastic slate of games this weekend, though, so let's run through the players that we are excited to see most in Week 5. Nate, you got somebody for me?
Yeah, I'm looking at Russell Wilson playing against the Rams, the Seahawks versus those Rams. And for so long, the Rams were the little brother in this division, and all of a sudden, they grew up, they matured, they got a little mustache, and they're walking around with their chest high, bumping into their older brother in the kitchen. This is all autobiographical. Not only that was how I grew up with 4 boys in the house, but I'm living it right now in another generation. My 2 sons, Nate is 14, Nehemiah is 12. Nate's not playing football right now. He's a basketball player. He's going to play next year. Nehemiah is playing football, and he's a monster. He's about 1 inch taller than Nate, about 40 pounds heavier. And I'm seeing these guys look at each other in the house. Nehemiah talking trash, bumping into his big brother. But they went on the backyard yesterday, and they're like, Dad, let's throw the ball around. And I always know how this ends. Nate is showing up and showing out. Even though he's not playing football this year, he's trying to send a message to his little brother. You might be a little bit bigger than me. You might be heavier than me. You might even be playing football right now, but I'm still more talented than you. I can catch better, and I'm a better route runner. I feel like the Seahawks are going to take that stand. Okay, listen, you guys might be a little more talented. You guys might even have a little bit more hair on your chest, and you're walking around feeling yourself. But I'm going to prove to be the big brother that I've always been.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get the dub, but I feel like it's going to be more competitive than people think.
Love that. I'm looking at that Steelers-Falcons game for what I'm most excited to see, and I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of Julio Jones. You're Julio Jones. This is the first time in 8 years in the NFL that you're facing Antonio Brown on the other side of the field. The first time 2 of the best in the game facing each other. Antonio Brown's second highest paid wide receiver. I'm Julio Jones. I want to get paid. I've been talking about that all offseason. We did a little bit of a deal so I could, be happy and show up, and now I want to get broke off. My mindset is I'm going to go off in this game, and nobody can go off like Julio Jones. He's the only player to have 3, take a look, 3 250-plus yard games nobody's ever had more than 1.
300.
Nobody's ever had more than 1. I'm calling my shot right here against the Steelers, against Joe Hayden, against Artie Burns. This is going to be one of those add 4 to the list.
Julio game.
This will be a Julio game, in my opinion. I mean, no one else in NFL history can do what he does. I know he doesn't have a touchdown this season. He's going to get his first one, and he does lead the league in yards, by the way, with 502. He's on pace for over 2,000 yards this season, and the Steelers give up the most yards. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm calling my shot.
I like it.
Julio Jones, we see you. I think it means something to him this game with Antonio Brown on the other side of the sideline, and so he's going to ball out.
Julio games light up Twitter, too. Like, when he
100%.
starts going, people start freaking out because you're seeing one of the great talents having a day. It's like drop what you're doing and go watch the Falcons game. The 300-yard game, I remember where I was. It's crazy. You should never do that even twice. I'm looking forward to Josh Allen, though, because Josh Allen's obviously really intriguing. Played this incredible game at Minnesota, and then follows it up and gets shuts out at Green Bay. But I have a special interest in it because I hope Josh Allen gets off to a really fast start this week because they're playing the Titans, and no one in the country wants to watch the Titans, right? So you want to have Josh Allen get out ahead of it. I love the Titans. I love what they're doing, but as a conduit for the fans across the country, they want Josh Allen to get up early so they'll cut away to other action, and you don't have to watch the Titans slug it out 3 yards at a time. Even the city itself, I've been reading a lot of tweets. They think that people, Buffalo's one thing, but Nashville makes Buffalo look like Abu Dhabi. That's how people in some parts of the country think. Not me. I was just reading an article in the New York Times about 36 hours in Nashville, quoting the flourishing art and food scenes in this ever-evolving city of Nashville.
I was there for my birthday. I loved it.
It's awesome. Did you do the pedaling bar on wheels thing? Because that's a lot of fun, too.
I'm not 12.
No, 21.
True. Goes around. No.
I want to see how Josh Allen does. And I honestly do want to see how the Titans handle success because even in our own backwards way, we are giving them national attention that they deserve. So if they get to 4-1, they are forefront of the conversation. But if they lose to the rookie quarterback, then it's kids' table time. So awesome matchup.
Yeah.
We talk about a lot of rookies on this show. We love Baker Mayfield. We like seeing Lamar Jackson on the field. I feel like we've done a disservice to the fans on the West Coast because Derwin James is off to one of the greatest starts a rookie's ever had. This guy is unbelievable. He's a safety for the Chargers. He slipped in the draft, and he's off to a historic start. Look at some of these facts that we've got from just 4 games with Derwin James. 3 sacks in the first 4 games of his career. NFL record for a defensive back. First player since 2013 to record 25-plus total tackles, 3 sacks and interception in his first 4 games of the season, and 3-plus sacks and interception first 4 games of the season. Only player to ever do that since Kerry Rhodes in 06. And if you watch Derwin James on Sundays, they're not always in the national game, the Chargers. They're kind of in that third game on the 4 o'clock window on the East Coast. But this guy pops off the screen. He wears number 33. Let's take a look at some of the plays he had just last week in a game that they won over the 49ers that you probably didn't see much of because it wasn't the national game. This is here. Line of scrimmage, a safety, jumping down, breaking up the pass, almost taking it.
Freak athlete.
This guy is a freak athlete, and he gets to the line of scrimmage and sacks the quarterback from the safety position. We talk all the time in this show. The safety position is kind of dead in the league. And when Earl Thomas gives the middle finger to the sideline, you wonder, are we going to have another great safety in the league? Derwin James is that guy. He covers, he plays, and watch him on this spot shadow here. This is with the game on the line late. Derwin James, watching. What are you going to do, Derwin? I am going to knock it down and make a play. The next one is when the San Francisco 49ers are now trailing late. They're making a furious comeback. Guess who gets the quarterback? It's Derwin James. If you have a chance to watch Raiders-Chargers this weekend, keep an eye on number 33. We always do the Brady 6 on this show. We talk about the quarters, the quarterbacks, the Gio Carmazzi's and the Spurgeon wins.
Redmond.
Derwin James went 17th in the draft. We could talk about the Derwin 16. I mean, that is how good he is. I love Sean Taylor. I love Ed Reed. I love Troy Polamalu. I'm not putting him in that conversation yet. But through 4 weeks of his career, this guy has shown just glimpses that he might be held in that conversation at some point. Derwin James, we see you, although we might not be talking about you every single day.
Yeah, we see all of those guys. That's who we're excited to check out on Sunday, of course. And we welcomed Edelman to the field last night. This week, the Saints welcome back Mark Ingram. But, Trace, it's a tough test.
Redskins are no joke.
#1 defense. Do you put him in your fantasy lineup this weekend out the gate? Find out on Top 5 Friday. Up next, right here on Good Morning Football. Colts Pats highlights just ahead.
Mark-nado, like Sharknado?
Everything feels bigger in a place like New York.